I'm going to attempt to modify this pair of headphones without any prior knowledge of how to do that. Stay tuned. Hey, Internet. Hi, it's me, Mike. So I've been wanting to put out these videos more frequently, but I've been encountering some issues, and those issues can be summarized as follows. Busyness, laziness, apathy, gotta fix my headphones. Wait, what? Okay, only some of those are real. The headphones one, that is a real thing. Let me show you what I mean. So here are my headphones. They're called the Technica M50s. And by most accounts, this is an excellent pair of headphones. They do, however, have one big problem, or maybe I should say one really long problem. The cable on this thing is way too long. Like, why would they even make a cable this long? Why? Allow me to demonstrate just how long this cable is. If I were listening to music on my laptop right over here, I could be standing all the way over here and still be plugged in.
Seriously?
Why? I mean, why go wireless when you can just do this instead? In reality, I don't think that I'm ever more than like 4 feet away from whatever it is that I'm plugged into. So what I end up having to do is just coil this thing over and over and over and over, and then I'll tie it up. And the problem with that is that if you're wearing headphones for hours at a time, having this big ball of wires hanging off the side of your head is not comfortable. So what we're gonna have to do is cut off this whole wire and then install a brand new headphone jack. It'll hopefully look something like this when we're done. And then this way I'll have a detachable cable and I can use pretty much whatever cable that I want. So as I was doing some research on how to go about doing this, it turns out that to wire the new headphone jack onto the headphones, I'm gonna need to do some soldering. And the main problem with that is that I don't know how to do that. By the way, if you don't know what soldering is, the basic idea is that you take this, which is called solder, kind of looks like a long messed up paper clip, and then you heat it up with this, which is called a soldering iron. You heat the solder up to the point where it melts, and you use that liquid metal in order to join two other pieces of metal. In this case, what we're trying to do is create an electrical connection between the headphone jack and the headphones. Oh, and elephant in the room, it looks like it should be pronounced solder, like sold her, but actually it's pronounced solder, like sawed her. Get it? And the reason that it's pronounced that way is because the world makes no sense sometimes. Anyways, like I was saying before, I've never attempted anything like this in the past. I've never even seen someone solder anything. So this will be a challenge. I give it maybe like a 70% chance of success. All right, maybe 60. Or just a coin flip, whatever. But I'm willing to give it a try. I mean, I had never used a table saw until I did, and this doesn't seem nearly as daunting as that. So what could possibly go wrong, right? Let's get started. I'm kind of nervous, but here we go. Well, there's no turning back now. I'm going to start off by taking off these ear pads. I'll set these aside. Whoa. By the way, I'm going to be turning to my spirit guide YouTube to teach me everything that I need to know so that I can do this right. Wouldn't it be weird if your spirit animal was just some other human? Like everybody else is a lion or a dragon or a wolf, and yours is just some dude named Jeff. I will light the path before you. I will teach you the ways of soldering. Shut up, Jeff, I got this. So it turns out I'm gonna need to use the rotary tool, so eye protection, a must. All right. So the point that I'm trying to prove with this whole project, and I'm trying to prove it just as much to myself as I am to you, is that just because you haven't tried something before, just because something seems too hard or you have no experience with it, doesn't mean that you shouldn't try. And whether you succeed or you fail, that's all secondary. What's actually important is that you put in the effort to learn something new. You challenged your brain to absorb new information and make these connections that just weren't there before. And when your mind takes the time to conceptualize new thoughts and new ideas, then your perspective of the world changes just a little bit. And I can only imagine that's a good thing. Well, as you can see, my headphones are not working. And while I am a little bit disappointed, I still believe that what I said earlier stands true. It might take more time and effort, more practice and research, but I know that eventually all of the loose connections that are just floating around inside my head will just fuse together. You see what I did there? By the way, this topic of learning new things and challenging yourself, that's something that I want to talk more about. Maybe I'll do that in a future video, but right now, I just really need to get some sleep. Anyways, I also want to thank the channel Beauty and the Bolt. They made a great video about the basics of soldering. I might need to go back and watch that a few more times, but I'm going to leave a link to that video in the description. And if you want to check out some of their other great content, their channel is going to pop up here or here. I'm really bad at pointing to where I think things are going to be. As always, if you liked what you saw, subscribe and hit that notification button so that you'll know when I'm posting a new video. And if there's anyone out there watching, thank you. And I'll see you in the next one.